After the fall of Saigon in 1975, hundreds of thousands of refugees fled to the US. They faced poverty, racism, language barriers, and trauma. Thousands of Southeast Asians were unaccompanied minors. Some went to foster care, some were adopted and abandoned, and others who ended up in poor neighborhoods that were heavily policed. Then came the 1990s, the war on drugs, the 1994 crime bill, and harsh sentencing laws. Southeast Asian youth, just like Black and Latino youth, were swept into mass incarceration. In 1996, the US passed a new immigration law called IRA. It made green card holders deportable for old crimes, even minor ones. And it applied retroactively. Let's take the case of Tung, who escaped Vietnam on a boat and arrived in 1980 as an abandoned 10-year-old. Ended up on the streets, joined a gang for protection, and committed crimes to survive. He's convicted in 1992, serves 5 years. But before he's released, he's sent to ICE detention where an immigration judge decides his fate. He's poor, can't afford an attorney, doesn't understand legal documents, and can't fight his case. The judge ordered him deported, but Vietnam won't accept him because he's a refugee. He lives in limbo because his green card is revoked and he's not allowed to get legal status or citizenship. Every year he checks in with ICE, pays taxes, and finds stability and love and starts a family. In 2008, the US pressured Vietnam into an agreement. Anyone who arrived after 1995 could be deported. Those who came before were protected. Dong is now a pre-95 deportable Vietnamese and continues to live in limbo. That changed under Trump. In 2017 and again in 2020, his administration pushed Vietnam to take back all deportees, even pre-1995 refugees. Deportations began to rise and families started being torn apart. Tung holds his breath as he continues to check in with ICE every year. Now in 2025, Trump's back. He's declared mass deportations, and Vietnam is fully cooperating. ICE is arresting people at their homes, at their workplaces, and even at routine check-ins. Some have lived here for 40 years, raised families, and have served their sentences. This isn't justice, this is double punishment. Tung is one of them. He was detained at check-in. He was in ICE detention for months, put on a military plane with hundreds like him, shackled hands and feet while the plane goes to multiple countries for drop-offs. They don't tell him where he's going, but he's confident it's Vietnam and not Africa because he's been informed and supported by Collective Freedom since the day of his arrest, an organization that helps people like him. After nearly 50 hours in 7 countries, he's in Hanoi. No family in Vietnam, no clothing except for what he wore when he was detained. His wife dropped off luggage, but it was lost. He's grateful that Collective Freedom sent his information to the Balo Project volunteers who are in Vietnam to help him. They gave him a backpack with clothes and a phone that works. He knows he committed a crime, he accepts his deportation fate, and he's grateful that people cared enough to support him in this journey. If you want to support people like Bung, support the Balo Project and Collective Freedom, the groups on the ground giving deportees dignity and a second chance.